revenue dropped probably 20-30% overnight. Our worst weekday was like $250 revenue.
So 2 weeks after launching, you went from about $1,000 days to about $8,000.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
I did get quite upset.
Yeah.
There was a day where there was probably 2 days that I wasn't really coping at all. I didn't want to disappoint anyone and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pull it off. We were producing products and sticking them out in the shop and expecting that somehow magically customers would find them and like them and tell their friends.
I thought those 3 pillars would be enough to get things done. Then we launched, we were sitting at the Gelato store with you guys and it was just like, this is not what I wanted. There was 200,000 or so views. And then not only did we get the views, we got the customer. The lesson that I always try to impart is that
So we have a gelato business called Bacio Gelato, and we produce all natural gelato, authentic Italian style.
out of the Gold Coast as well.
Yeah, from a shop in Burleigh.
Lovely, lovely. And how did the idea of Bacio premium gelato come about? Who had the idea?
Well, my first job was in gelato at 14 and
Yeah.
then I landed back in it after school and I was learning how to make it. Obviously very different process to what we are doing now, but I really enjoyed it. So it was sort of a idea that bloomed, kind of what do I want to do? And these guys thought it could be fun, open up a store and then, hey, actually, we want to join. And anyway, so it snowballed from there, yeah.
So a family business. So you had the idea of inception, I want to sell awesome gelato. How does one launch a gelato store? What's the next process? I'm sure you've got some
Business
stories.
plan.
Business plan, yeah. So I think it really came to fruition, 2 years back now, really, where we're at a gelato shop out of Tyalgum and it was kind of a bit of an aha moment for me because, we wanted to see Jamie start a business. She didn't know how to start. We didn't really know where to start. But that was kind of a little moment in my time where I thought, I think we can do this, beautiful gelato shop out here in the country, they can make it work. I think we can do this, and I thought let's do it together. That way we can actually help her up. So that started a journey of started talking about it. I think all of a sudden it became from an idea to more of a concept. So I started working on a business plan around it, started researching it. We decided if we're going to do it, we want to do it to the best of our ability and do it well. And so that took us where we wanted to go to Italy, wanted to study a particular method in natural gelato production. We sort of did a lot of surveying, we did a lot of tasting, we did a whole bunch of stuff. And I knocked out a 90-page business plan.
Wow.
And as a bit of a test in about 6 weeks, in a bit of a test, I sort of slapped a draft on the table and said to the girls, here it is, go to town, red pen, whatever you need to do. And it was quite amazing because Jamie knocked through it in 2 days. Red pen everywhere, from her gelato experience and all that. And so you could see there was an appetite there.
Yeah.
And so then that sort of took us on a journey of, okay, where do we want to study? What's the time frame? Started a bit of a plan. We tried to pick the business name so that we had a whole survey of names, took it to friends, family.
What do you think?
This is extensive.
Yeah.
And how much of the business plan actually played out to fruition?
I don't even
Pretty
know.
close, actually.
Pretty close?
Yeah.
That's amazing. A lot of business plans are like, they're good on paper and just none of it ever happens.
And we had 2 different versions. We had the really good version and this will work.
Yeah. So, there's obviously pivots and some flexibility in that. So location was an unknown.
Yeah.
Right. So that was a big one. So we were initially the projections that were based on a more higher pedestrian traffic area. But again, you take the opportunities as they come and you work through that. So where we are now, it's a quieter little hub, some good local restaurants around us as well. But we knew we had to become a destination there. We got the gelato cart as well because we wanted to then be able to do events and sort of have a second point of sale and brand recognition into the broader community. So I think in the first 3 months when we started, we put an order in for a gelato cart, which they made in Sicily for us and
That's awesome.
sent it through. It took about 6 months to come through.
How was the Italy trip? Did you learn lots that is
Yeah.
now the foundation of the business?
It was a 2-week intensive course. It was pretty much 8 a.m. to 5 or
14
something.
days straight.
Yeah, 14
Yeah.
days. Oh, it was 14 days straight. Yeah, it was a lot of work, a lot of gelato tasting. I can't complain.
Don't forget the placement that we did in the gelateria. Dad and I worked in the back of a
That's so
gelato
cool.
place in
Did an internship down on the Tuscan
Pietrasanta.
coastline, which was
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Pietrasanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So you went and did your gelato course, learnt the actual skills, you started ordering equipment. What was the fit out process like? Because that's always probably where I would say most people go wrong, picking the location and then also the actual equipment. They just over capitalize, under capitalize. What did you learn?
Yeah, look, we probably, in some equipment, we probably didn't need.
Yeah.
And we certainly capitalised heavily on it. But we wanted to get the design right and the fit out. We wanted it to look great, so that we invested in the branding, the fit out, and that, which it hurt the bank account, But at the end of the day, I think, we're better off for it, and we're glad we did.
Yeah.
The process itself, look, it took a while, and I think that trip to Italy was very well timed because we had the unit. We sort of started projecting and designing fit out while we were there, and so we were gleaning from other gelaterias in Italy and the training we did, and so a lot of what we've now got was because of that work, So especially because we're producing everything from scratch and all that, so we sort of got some good feedback during that process.
With the launch process in the business plan, was there something to do with your unique selling proposition? What was the thing that you thought as just like, this needs to be in the world? Or was that kind of overlooked, would you say?
I wouldn't say it's overlooked. I guess on the Gold Coast, we're sort of the only kind of all natural, you make everything in-house gelateria. So I feel like there was a gap that we could fill. But yes, we wanted to do it well. We studied. But yeah, we make everything in-house. I think sort of that.
Just to add to that, I think so roughly 95% of gelato shops use pre-made bases, ingredients, that sort of thing, and it's a good reason why, because it's easier, it's cost effective in many ways. We've chosen the harder route. So because we're making everything from scratch, it's a lot harder work to do it. But we wanted to do that because we felt that the end product would show in the end product in the quality of the gelato.
And I feel like it does.
and it does. I think
it definitely
I was a
does.
little
It's delicious.
surprised at how many people noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Even with just the sorbets using real fresh fruit, nothing frozen, no purees, you can taste the difference. Yeah.
And the location. What was your thought process around there? Because it was quite tucked away and there was roadworks.
Well,
it was hard to
we
find.
said we wanted near the beach, 5 restaurants around us on a thoroughfare of traffic going past. They were the 3, and we ticked some of them and didn't tick all of them.
Yeah, gotcha.
There was 4 restaurants when we signed the lease. Now, then there was only 2 by the time we opened.
Yeah.
Wasn't quite. It's near the beach, but we can't see the beach.
Yeah. It's not walking
not
distance
really
from
the
the
thoroughfare.
beach, is it?
Oh, no,
Well,
it
it
is.
kind of is.
It's just over,
It is.
up and over the thing.
The
I think
road.
it's those roadworks. So it used to be.
It feels longer than it is, I reckon, because you got to cross that tram line,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, it used to be a big thoroughfare, either down our street or the other side. The whole community goes down to the beach. But because of the roadworks, I think people don't do that anymore, and they've forgotten.
Found a new route.
Or drive down or whatever.
So it sounds like there was a lot more thought gone into the business than I would say most people launching their first restaurant. That's probably fair to say, or first cafe or first gelato place. How did the launch go? Did it exceed expectations? What are the stories that you can remember around that time?
We had 2 days to open because we wanted to open for a long weekend and we had approvals on the Thursday, and if we didn't get approved, we couldn't open. So we had 2 days after approval to then get the shop up and running and produce all our flavors and open.
Yeah,
So it was a lot.
It was the last 2 days of the school, 2 days of the school holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're doing and we got a sort of a really good home machine where we do a lot of our testing. So the month before we were testing our
Testing
recipes,
our
trialing our
recipes.
recipes, but then we really had 2 days to punch out as much gelato as we could before the long weekend.
I don't think we had all our flavors though. I think we had
No, we
only a
didn't.
few.
And our menu board was missing
A bunch of
numbers,
letters. We didn't have
and stuff
enough.
like that.
We didn't have enough letters.
Yeah. What were sales in that month of opening? Did it exceed expectations?
It wasn't too bad. A lot of people were waiting on the door for us to open. So a lot of the local community were, I guess, excited to see us come and all that. So the first day was great. I
I
can't
don't
really
think I had an
remember what.
expectation for a figure. So
Yeah.
I was just excited to open.
Yeah. That first dollar changing hands is always nice.
Yeah, no, it was lovely.
Yeah.
And especially some of the families who came straight up, as soon as we opened the doors, that was fun.
And they're still regulars now, They live in the
Like
area.
weekly.
They come in often. It's awesome.
True.
Can you remember your first month of trade, what the figures were? Or
I think it would be 5,000 for the week.
No, it was probably a little bit more than that. But our challenge was people knowing we were there.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of the locals who knew we were coming was that. But we ended up having to do a mailbox drop and stuff like that. And so people even who were only a block away had no idea we were kind of there. But we were fortunate because Jade from the Weekend Edition, I think she saw us open.
Yeah, I think
and so
she
straight
drove
away she
by.
came in. The first week we had an article written from those guys, and then the Inside Gold Coast and the Gold Coast Bulletin got in contact with us as well, and they do a lot to help support businesses as well. And I think because they could see us from the highway, that didn't hurt.
Yeah.
But look, I imagine we were probably around the 8,000 a week
for the
roughly.
week? That's great. Yeah, I think in my experience working with local businesses, especially food businesses, there's all this hype in the first month. It's a new thing. It's just like everyone's just been seeing it getting built over time. Everyone's super, super excited. And then you kind of burn through that initial traction of the easy to find customers that are local. And then things start to get tough, especially if people just don't keep coming back, which obviously every business, they're going to have some level of churn. Did you guys find that you were quite steady? Did it drop off quickly? Like, how did that experience treat you guys?
I think it was steady. Yeah, because we opened for summer, the Christmas holidays.
Perfect timing.
Then we had the last term of school, and then we had the Christmas holidays. So it opened up for summer, so I think that set us up for success.
But I think a lot of people did come because we got some unique flavours. Our avocado, lemon and coconut, for example, which we wrestled over whether to open with it or not. I got my way and we opened with it. But a lot of people were intrigued by that, so they were trying the flavours they hadn't really tried before. And I think some people then, once they'd sort of gone through it and had it a few times, there was probably a little drop off until they were ready for it again. So there was a little bit of excitement with that, but then it was all about finding new people to come in and experience it as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. The new flavour method is always open for gelato stores, right? It's like there's obviously competitors, we won't name the competitors, that do it very, very well, that just constantly create excitement, bring their customers back. It's not easy to create new gelato flavors. I've seen you guys do it. And it was very, very impressive, the process. How does that really change your business when you do kind of hit a flavor? Run me through that process, even with the avocado one. Like, what was the process of creating it?
We actually did a version of it when we were training.
Yeah.
And I remember avocado. Aussies love avocados. We should do an avocado flavor.
But I think in that one at home and the testing, we probably went through about half a dozen versions of it.
So it's not easy.
Not
you've got
easy.
to tweak it.
It's not easy.
The one where we did, the pandan sticky rice we did with you guys. So we've still got people who are coming asking for that, by the way.
Yes.
But the predecessor for that, we did a mango sticky rice over summer when it was mango season, and people absolutely loved it. But that one probably took us a good 9 times just to get it right, just because it's a lot of variables in it, which is not standard. It's not a standard flavour.
Cool.
But so that one, those two ones, we're particularly proud of how they've turned out. But the pandan one, it's probably my favourite so far, to be honest, in terms of how
I'm
that.
keen to get into that.
I think it was the importance of actually doing that training in Italy, though, because then we learnt the skills to be able to write our own recipes. Because then you could take whatever ingredients you wanted to put together, have a look at them, and create a recipe that was delicious and here at a certain flavour, that it was still scoopable.
Yeah.
And creamy.
For sure. I think any business, doesn't matter if it's e-commerce or local businesses, you've got a skill stack, right? You've got marketing, you've got product, you've got managing financials, that all pillars that exist across that. I think like you guys just doing that gelato course initially tick that box, right? Got you that product skill, which is just going to hold you in good stead. So things were going really steady. decent summer, pretty happy with things. It sounds like you're working pretty hard. Is that fair to say?
Yeah,
Yes.
we haven't stopped working hard, I think.
Yeah. So long hours. So what were the kind of long hours you guys were working?
Craig, he was doing 12
Yeah.
plus.
Yeah. And you were working another job, weren't you?
Yeah, and paused for a little bit for the first 3 months while we started, but then sort of stepped back into that just
Good hustle.
Yeah.
to keep the household bills coming, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Whereas we were kind of doing 8 to 10
Yep.
hours.
So a lot of work.
Yeah. Plus, then for me, I was doing the marketing as well, and our payroll and a roster, so extra stuff on the side.
Yeah, wow.
Spare time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spare time.
In those early stages, obviously, still exciting new restaurant. Did you feel like you were getting the reward for the effort you were putting in?
Yes, I think so. I think we were in a growth period, so you could tell that it was coming. Everyone who we had good feedback. We got really
Often,
good.
yeah.
We had good feedback. Most customers that came in, and we had good reviews too on Google.
Yeah.
We're just getting
So it was
5-star
very
reviews.
rewarding knowing that people are loving our product. It was more just how do we get more people
Yeah.
to love our product.
So
to come.
qualitative,
Yeah.
passionate reward rather than maybe financial
Yeah, it's
reward?
probably
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
Fair thing?
So I think we had a lot of confidence, and we dared to aspire early that I think we've got the right product, we've got the right culture, we're creating the right customer environment that we're really working hard to get. That I think we're well positioned. We're setting a good foundation. It's just we have to get the finances
Yeah.
and the wriggle room to give ourselves room to develop it.
Can you define what that means? Like, what do you mean by we just needed to get our finances to this position?
So one of the flaws in my business plan was underestimating some of the costs.
Yeah.
For setup. So we had a certain budget, gave ourselves contingency, and that burned into that at the end of the day. So the fit out was more than we thought. We're glad we did it, but but at the end of the day, we're kind of scraping the barrel financially, you know, with it, bringing everything we could just to get the doors open to start on that. So it capped our capacity to then, because then we were the cheapest form of labour. We're discretionary labour. So, we were putting a lot of free hours and that sort of thing in where we just weren't taking a wage. We still haven't really taken a full wage ever since we started. And so you recognising we're in a startup phase, having a lot of confidence and feedback that was coming with our brand and what we're doing in a product, but just needing the wriggle room, the capacity to invest in, I guess, creating time to build the business.
Yeah, of course. And to get that wriggle room, you have kind of two solutions. You cut costs, which is kind of impossible. You're not paying yourself. You're not going to move location. You've done all of that. Or you get revenue up, right?
Yeah.
That's the two solutions. And then you started to come into your first winter, right? This is kind of when we started working with you and talking to you. How are you guys feeling going into winter? Was it nerve-wracking?
Nerve-wracking because February, March hit us hard.
We're expecting a stronger February, March.
Yeah.
Coming into summer for Gelato. Or coming out of summer for Gelato, I should say. And so, but I think everyone's returning to school fees, paying off Christmas stuff, interest rate rise, so a bit of lower confidence and a series of that. And so we were hoping we'd be in a better position to survive winter than we were. But the February and March particularly hit us fine. April was a good month. But then the April-May rains came and that just that blindsided us in a fair. I think it's fair to say we thought we'd have a bit more cash flow reserve going into winter than what we were seeing in reality.
Yeah. And do you have specifics around that? Like what was the kind of revenue that you were at, whether weekly or monthly?
Yeah, look, I think in February we got down to probably $7-8 grand a week. And so we pretty much had a good February, but then the revenue dropped probably 20-30% overnight.
What would be the worst
if not more
weekday that we probably had? Like
our worst
less
weekday
than
was like $250 revenue.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So you guys all three at work in there, $350 bucks. Could have driven Uber that day, but that is tough, and it's terrifying, the unknown of seasonality, right? Like it's very hard to, it was very hard to predict. that's why we were super excited to work with you. So I think at that point we gave you a call. We've seen you on social media. We've seen the branding. We've seen the product. It's just like we looked at it and we're like, I think they just need this little nudge, this little tweak. It wasn't a huge amounts. It wasn't a huge lift to run kind of the formula that we've done a few times with local views. Can you run through that process, how that started out, just for the listeners?
Yeah, so I guess it was kind of highlighting the fact that we were producing products and sticking them out in the shop and expecting that somehow magically customers would find them and like them and tell their friends and keep coming back to buy them. So then
Which is not true, is it?
Yeah, the magic part. Was it working? So we're like, okay, so now we need to consider the products that we're producing, create a strategy to be able to make sure that people know what we've got. Hopefully we're on point with flavours and things that people want to eat, and, advertise it so that and draw people to come in. And so I guess like tell a story if we must, or just explain and show what we've got out on social media. So which I think we did well with both of the specials that we did with you and the team.
Run me through day one. What was the first thing that we did? Can you remember?
Oh, the reel that you did
When it was raining.
Yeah.
Well, day one we had to come up with the first product, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Like that was the very first process. So I think you guys already had kind of the idea around the pandan sticky rice flavor, which is great. I loved that dragon fruit flavor that you did. The fact that I could see a little bit of social engagement on that already. It's like the von Restorff effect, which is like the thing that stands out, will get the most attention. And just like if you have one green apple in front of 5 red apples, you're obviously going to look at that. And that's what that first reel or that first product, the dragon fruit one, really showed. And then we're just like, all right, can we make another colourful ice cream to cut through? And I think that's where you guys already had the idea because you lived in Malaysia and stuff like that. So I think you guys went and started developing that. Run us through the process of that launch and, kind of what you learned through that process.
It's interesting because I had just happened to have some pandan because I wanted to start playing with that.
Yeah.
So we hadn't actually locked in on the pandan sticky rice. It wasn't until when we spoke that I thought, okay, it's colourful. And then flicking through some photos, and I saw a picture of the pandan sticky rice dessert, traditional Southeast Asian one, and flicked it to the girls, and they're going, yes, let's do that.
Gelato flavour.
So there was a lot of work in it.
Yeah.
It's a very labour-intensive one, especially bringing out the pandan flavour. But it was one we were really excited about, and probably the flavour I'm most proud of that we've ever done, and one that people are asking for back. But I guess it was an interesting experience, I guess, because really colourful flavour, especially the feedback from Malaysians in particular has been you've brought me back to childhood, and that sort of thing, which I absolutely loved. You want that feedback,
Yeah.
But I think when we were trying to work out, okay, how do we help then translate that into bringing people in the door and create new customers and a bit of virality and that sort of thing, with the bring a friend, get one free sort of thing, So we had a good day. We doubled sales on that day. We did that promotion, but it wasn't a double of revenue because of the giveaway, and then it didn't necessarily translate into that. But love the flavour, proud of the flavour and all that. But in terms of, I guess that's where we kind of think, okay, that didn't quite transition how we were hoping, and so I guess that's when we worked with you guys to re-explore.
Yeah, so it was an interesting process. I went into it thinking that all we needed to do was create an incredible product that's still not too unique, but unique enough to go viral. Then create our usual formats, which is Found a Story, a couple of other tricks that we've done with you guys, and then really double down on the offer, which is bring your friend, get a free scoop. I thought those 3 pillars would be enough to get things done. Then we launched, I think we got like 30,000 views, 50,000 views, something around that.
Yeah.
And then I we just worked with another a restaurant where they got 50,000 views and they 5x the usual night. So I was kind of excited about it. And then we're sitting at the restaurant, we were sitting at the gelato store with you guys, and it was just like, this is not what I wanted. I think we were all like kind of disappointed, but trying to still stay a little bit excited before we flew. And then I was in the car on the way because I had to send my videographers home the next day. And I was just like, I feel like we did increase revenue a little bit. It's just like, should we wrap up the story here? But then I asked you guys if you wanted to keep going and take another crack at it. And to your credit, you guys, despite being tired already, were just like, yeah, let's give it a go. And that's when we started looking at what did we actually do wrong. And I think the first thing that we did wrong, I love you guys' thoughts on this, is like, one, we picked a product that probably wasn't viral enough. It wasn't worth driving, from Brisbane down all the way down to Gold Coast. It was worth coming in if you're in the neighborhood, if you've already shopped there, but it wasn't something to pull you in enough. And the second thing was it didn't go viral enough in terms of the actual algorithms really liking the visuals of the product. And then finally, it didn't address the core issue, which is why we wanted to help you guys in the first place, which was it was winter. We're selling gelato in winter.
Right. Yeah.
It's obvious. It's quite difficult to do. So we needed to come up with that warm product. I can't remember what was the process to coming up with I think we're just in a group chat and we're just hitting ideas, right?
Yep.
We're using the algorithm, coming up with ideas.
We wanted something different, but we knew it couldn't be too out there different.
Yep.
And then
You were already working on gluten-free cookies
Yeah.
already, so we were sort of thinking, okay, could we use the...
Yeah, but it couldn't just be a cookie and gelato because everyone's doing that. We wanted to be doing something, the first ones to do something cool.
Yeah.
So this is why we decided to put the hot lava sauce inside the cookie.
Yeah.
And I guess it was then addressed, winter, something warm, people might want to come here and eat this.
Pairs well with our gelato. It's customizable to what flavors you like,
Yeah.
And you're working mega hours to get that recipe done, right?
Yeah.
Like this is the thing.
4 days or something.
Yeah.
Non-stop,
That was a tough week for her.
Yeah. So it's like a lot of people, look at the videos that I do where I come in and save restaurants and they're like, why doesn't everyone just do this? It's not easy.
No.
There is still some difficulty in getting, it's hard in terms of resilience more than maybe skill. You know what I mean? It's just tinkering. Would you agree with that?
Yes, potentially. And I think just getting the right product at the right time.
Yeah. Run me through that
It's
week
just
of you just
perfect.
burning cookies.
Yeah. I think and because I was just started with what I was doing and wanting to improve on it for the cooked cookie. And then I guess it was like almost there, but a fail. And then, but I like this sauce. How are we going to get it into the cookie? It tastes great, but it's just not working. Trying different variations. And actually Craig was really good though because he came in and helped because I was trialling something with like 8 cookies and if it failed, you'd have to start again. But then Craig was kind of helping me go, well, let's do like 6 different variations on that with that. So so one batch, you're not just trialing one thing and having to throw it out. So I was doing more in the one batch. So then it got quicker. And and I think it was just like, I don't know, because I did get quite upset.
Yeah.
There was a day where there was probably 2 days that I wasn't really coping at all. I didn't want to disappoint anyone.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pull it off. And then somehow magically found the right formula and it kind of just worked from there. And we're still kind of improving though and working on it as well. We haven't just stopped either with the cookie.
Yeah, for sure. So the cookie launch, that was kind of what we were chasing the entire time. We launched how many videos on social media?
For that?
Maybe like 3 videos. It wasn't a huge amount. 4 videos.
And then the what's in the box and then
they kind of took off, right?
Yeah.
There was 200,000 or so views. And then not only did we get the views, we got the customers. Run us through the sales trend, what happened after we launched that cookie.
It was an interesting day on the Saturday when we launched because we had quite a few people ask us for the cookies before the official launch as well, you know, and so it was good because you're starting to get some interest and traction in it, you know, and so we certainly accommodated them. You know, we had some trial ones we were batching out, and we're happy to share those with customers as they came in. But we were kind of trying to work out how we had no idea what to expect, quite honestly, you know, and talking with your team and that sort of stuff. You know, AJ would be saying, you know, we're going, well, if we can get 100, that'd be great.
Yeah.
You know? And so we were kind of staging on that, and we did. We got 107 on the first day.
Yep.
You know, so
which is revenue. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we actually on the Saturday we had a record sales day.
Yeah.
You know, so even better than the peak public holidays in summer.
Yeah.
And so that repeated on the Sunday, and when we then sold out of our cookie bombs. And so, yeah, we had I think it was around a 3.5, I think, on the Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we actually performed better on the Sunday before we ran out.
So since launching, what was your peak sales day? How long after Beck finally nailed the recipe?
Peak sales day was the following
After
weekend.
Inside Gold Coast posted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
was the
the
second
Inside Gold
weekend.
Coast, I guess, picked up on the video we did that initially went viral with the 200,000 views, and they asked if they could come in, and they do a Friday hype dish that they often do, and to help support local businesses. They like the idea of the cookie bomb, so they asked if they could come in and do some filming, and so the girls took them through that whole process, got some great shots, and set the Friday hype dish launch on the Friday to some Michael Jackson music, and it got traction straight away. It just really caught people's
Yeah,
People
so
were nervous.
we were saying
Yes.
within 1 to 2 weeks, it went from here to up here, and it's just been kind of doing this steady
Yeah.
ever since.
But to answer your question, we got to an $8,000 day.
$8,000.
Yeah,
And in how long? He asked how many days as well.
It was the second weekend.
the second
of
weekend.
launch,
so
Yeah.
7 days.
So 2 weeks after launching, you went from about $1,000 days on average
On average, yeah.
to about $8,000 peak day.
Big day.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Was it 2 weeks,
Absolutely
not
incredible.
one?
Yeah.
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's pretty crazy, yeah.
I thought it had been a couple of months, and they said, honey, it's only been 4 weeks. Has it?
I think I saw a tear just come down. Look, it does work that quickly. And I think that a lot of people ask, oh, this is just a fad, right? Like when something can go up that quickly,
Yeah.
it can just be a fad.
Yeah.
But
Hope it's
run me through the process, the things that you've learned that will ensure that this is not a fad using kind of some of the systems and processes we've taught you.
Well, I think kind of just product wise, I think it's your marketing and how you launch it matters. So I know we've got an Italian hot chocolate in the works. I think you've had a little taste test
it's lovely.
before. But even just, how do you launch products well and right so that they could go viral, plus also telling the story and kind of just a bit more social media throughout the week as well, which is something I haven't had time to do at the moment, but don't worry. They're coming.
But we're putting in strategies
Yeah.
in place to actually free up time. So that has taken time to be able to get us to the point that we will have more time to be able
We
to.
got some mics, we got a little camera. So,
Yeah.
So we
we've got
invested
some
in
things
that sort of
going.
gear, and I think now our mindsets switched gear somewhat because Jamie was largely leading the social media and trying to get the footage and stuff, and so she was always looking at that. Me, not so much. Beck, probably not so much. But now I think we're starting to think, okay, how do we bring people into our world, like when we're going down the farmer's market and choosing our fresh fruit, how do we, and then bring people on the journey of how that flavour comes out. So we're already starting to think about, okay, how do we better engage with people more intentionally to help keep that profile going.
Plus, mum's now thinking, oh, this would make a cute video. What if we did this and this?
Yeah.
So, you've got some ideas.
Yeah.
And so does dad. So, it's not all on
Jane,
me, which is really good.
You also
too.
did a video too. I was really impressed with you because you wrote out a script.
Yes.
And she
Love
had an
it,
idea
love
of
it. My
what the
jasmine
shots
milk
were going to
tea.
be. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's what we learned.
Yeah.
You put it into place. It's
Yeah.
like, okay.
You guys are in a bit of a unique situation because you probably would have figured this out a lot. You would have figured this out. It might have taken you a bit longer without our involvement, but you were still quite new when we came in and started working with you. And you're actually people that I love working with because I can help them before they get in extreme financial stress, which is good because then you have the flexibility to do some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
I think the lesson that I always try to impart is that product is key. You know, people go into a food restaurant and they're like, I love cooking. They create their initial menu. They get this big buzz. Everyone comes in and then it fades and it goes. And it's just like, why would it keep going? You haven't done anything new. You need to create products that get people talking. And then when that starts fatiguing, just like it did when you initially launched the restaurant, launch another product that gets people talking again. There is no free lunch, literally, in business. And I think that everyone just needs to understand that a recipe needs to not only work for the taste palette, but also on social media. And I think you guys will just keep smashing those out and come up with some crazy inventions that
I hope that we're building a platform with the chocolate lava cookie bomb so that when we actually do our left of centre kind of flavours, of people will come in and try them.
And you've got your seasonal hedge now as well. You sell gelato in summer and the cookie bomb in winter. So you've got an all-round business.
Yeah.
So.
There you go.
Is there any other thoughts or stories or things that you think would be worth telling to help, you know, struggling restaurants or people about to launch their first restaurant?
Don't overlook the power of social media and marketing. I feel like it's easy. I knew going into this that it was going to be really important, but it was hard to sort of find time to do it. But I think you need to find the time to do it because it can make or break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would often wrestle amongst ourselves, thinking, because I'd be saying, if we don't tell people on social media it's there, they're not going to know, right? But Jamie has also been really good at holding the standard for quality, you know, and so we're trying to wrestle. But you need you need time to tell the story, you know. And I think we struggled with finding the time because we were spending so much time on the business. On the day-to-day. That
also potentially didn't want to waste product on a photo and things like that too. So that was another thing so we burned through like 7-8 cookies just for that one shot, for that one reel. And then we said, but look what it got us. And so I've been a bit more to go, okay, it's all right. If it wasn't perfect, we just do it again and it's okay.
And this is why it's much easier to learn the right framework when you're not in financial distress. Because when I go to someone, I'm just like, oh, you just need to hire someone that's good at social media just to come in for the day and show you exactly how to shoot. They might not even have that $1,000, $2,000 to do it. And that's kind of fair enough. But at that point, the onus is on you to actually learn that skill. You just got to go onto YouTube. You're going to have to self-learn it because you put yourself into that situation. That's, you know, I might even get in trouble for saying that. It's just like, the economy's tough, that kind of stuff. It's just like the economy doesn't care about you. You need to care about your own business, right?
Yeah.
You need to learn the skills. It's on you.
Yeah.
But you guys are...
So had we invested earlier, might have gotten so bad.
Well, look, I think you guys have executed on all levels. I think we just accelerated what you guys were going to do. But it has been a wild ride. It's been probably the most interesting thing about working with you guys that hadn't happened for all of the other people that we've saved. Right now we're at a 100% strike rate with food restaurants. But what it was unique about you guys is just how many influencers came to support you guys. You had some of the biggest influencers in Gold Coast coming 3-4 times posting it. And that's why you didn't even need to do social media anymore. You could just sit back and just like, I just got some of the biggest names here that they would charge $20,000 a post and they're doing it for complete free.
Yeah.
So that's the power of product more than anything else, but it's also a bit of a power of brand, which I know you guys invested in well.
I think the fit out and our branding and everything definitely helped.
Yeah.
And that's some of the choices we made, like the Penny Bridge, to give a shout out to the Penny Bridge creative guys. I mean, the branding they did, helping bring our vision was fantastic.
Yeah.
And so we couldn't thank those guys enough, really.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to see the next viral concoction.
Me too,
we're brewing it.
I was just about thinking about it.
Yeah. I don't know
you'll-
what it's going to be.
You'll nail it. No, you guys have been awesome to work with. Really appreciate it. If you liked today's episode, make sure you go click the link below and check out Daily Mentor.